Hey YouTube, Fire was 23, time for the third and final upload tonight. It is Extreme Makeover Home Edition. Okay, this is kind of the polar opposite of Intervention, which is that this is a very feel-good show. I mean, it's kind of a depressing show at the beginning, but then it just does nothing but build up happily towards the end. So, for those who don't know, I'll summarize. These 5 people who work for ABC are riding in a bus, hear about this family who's a really loving, caring family, and lives in this, and who do all these great things, or have had a family member who's done great things, but their house is really, really dilapidated. So what do they decide to do? They're going to go off to this family's house, and they're going to send them on vacation. They're going to knock the house down. They're going to start building it back up. They're going to make it freaking amazing for them when they come back. They bring them back. They have this big, move that bus! And then they show the house, and there's this triumphant music playing, and we see how great the freaking house is, and explore every room, and see the people's reaction, and everyone's happy. Okay, let's break this down first off. The people in the show are incredibly energetic. I think the cast they got, they're just really upbeat people. They're not like downcast. They're actually really doing this because they want to. But I swear to God, they cry on a whim. There is so much crying and tears from not only the cast members of this, but the families and everybody else who watches it. It's a tear fest. Because, I mean, it's so happy. I mean, it's just supposed to be so happy and upbeat, and everyone's so emotional about everything. And I don't want to be clear. I mean, these are obviously real stories. I mean, they're not just making this up for, show value. I mean, this is actually real stuff. They send the people on vacation, which is very, very nice. Give them something to do while the house is being constructed. I'm fairly certain the construction things they talk about are probably actually real. I don't believe they're faking out that they're actually doing this in like 2 weeks. I have no doubt that that's actually true. They do the lamest jokes in this show. I mean, it's clearly supposed to be a family show that like every member of the family can watch. But they have the adults just doing the dumbest jokes. These childish little jokes like, oh, I brought you this, and it's going to help you do this, and that's so funny. And that's one point where I watched the show and I'm like, really? Like, that's how you had to entertain your audience? You couldn't do a joke that was more witty? I mean, you can do wit that isn't adult. You can do wit that's, kids would get too. But just, bleh. Okay, and then you get to the big house reveal where they're showing this Bill, and, I skipped a part. They tell the story of how terrible their lives are and how much the house is dilapidated and stuff, and they rebuild the house, and that's great. And they show this huge freaking house. There are the stories on the net about how people have gotten, these huge mortgages after having these houses, and some people have had to foreclose on them, and ABC has helped with some of them. And it's just like, well, that's kind of a bad send-off for the show to know that that's kind of the ultimate result of all their work and hard work and stuff. How do you ultimately feel about this program? There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, there's nothing absolutely wrong with this show. Murray123184 does not watch the show and doesn't care for it. And I think I was watching it one day, and I finally realized why. If you watch this show, and at any point hate it or detest it or anything, you're a jerk. Because it sets you up that you have to care about these people. That their lives are so tragic, that it was so bad that XYZ happened, that you have to care about these people. And I'm not in any way trying to say that they're bad people, or that their lives haven't been horrible or haven't been filled with those things. Because I actually watched one where like the father dies at the end of it of cancer or something like that, and a pretty dark ending. But it's just one of those shows that sets you up to care about them. And it's almost like a trap. Like, you can't hate what this show is doing. But it's such a spectacle in the act of doing it. Like, it's just so hammed up to say, like, this is so terrible, and watch us cry, and watch them be happy. And it's a show that sets itself up to be a happy show. And to be perfectly honest, I respect any viewer who chooses not to watch that show. Because I have talked to people who are like, all this bad stuff has happened to me, why don't they give me a house? It's not like our family hasn't been through trials and tribulation. My family specifically has actually been through stuff. We were at a point where we were living in hotels and motels and stuff. That's when I was like either I wasn't born, I was like 1 year old. I mean, we had that kind of stuff. Why doesn't that mean my family isn't deserving of it? It's like, and a lot of people, and I do kind of view that as kind of a selfish viewpoint. I do want to be very, very clear about that. I do think that someone who kind of thinks that is kind of a selfish viewpoint. But it is one of those shows where it's like, it's so over the top, and these are freaking extravagant homes. And I also question like how useful, like the living room and the kitchen areas are just fine, but then you see like some of the kids' rooms, and it's like, wait, like give it like a few months, and they'll be bored with this room. They'll be bored having the pirate themed room, or the ballroom themed room, or the room that has the football simulator in it. I mean, they'll get bored with it. That's not a room that I think is very practical for people to have. The adults' rooms they do very realistic, very modestly and stuff, but then it's just so overblown and over the top, and like, thanks a lot for, encouraging the idea that we shouldn't be living beyond our means when we're in an economic recession, because that's entirely where the show came from. The TV show Dinosaurs in the early 90s made a very good point about this, that when we're just in like an economic depression, television will come in and make us feel good about our lives. And I think that's just what this show is doing. It's trying to say, it's tough times in our country, but we can band together and help our fellow man. Well, it's like, no, it's not us banding together to help our fellow man. It's ABC's big bankroll coming to help our fellow man, and helping to find the most depressing family with the saddest story and just make their lives freaking amazing and show everyone crying and happy and cheering that everything is all better for them now. And it's almost like a falsetto happiness. Like, it's like, I feel happy for that family, but then it's like, it's such a thrill that only lasts for that episode. Like, I don't feel an endearing sense of happiness because of that. Especially when I hear some of the bad things that happen to some of these families afterwards, having these huge mortgages. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Extreme Home Makeover. Do I hate the show? No. I just think it's kind of got a weird message that I'm not really quite sure how to feel about. It's like, what am I supposed to feel about it? So, Far was 23, it is 10:30 at night. I'm going to hit the hay. Take care, and bye-bye for now.